Alright,
What's going on, my brother?
what's Gucci with you, my brother?
Yeah, I already know.
Glad to be
You
here.
already
Glad to
know.
be here.
Thank you.
Yes,
So before we get into this ass whooping, okay, I want to go ahead and introduce who I have today.
all
This
right,
is
all
a
right.
good friend of mine, also a business partner, and I wanted to interview him because he has a lot of knowledge with entrepreneurship. Just basically, getting it from the dirt. He been there, he been down, he been up. He got some good advice for those that are looking to get into this space of being an entrepreneur, ownership, real estate, just a lot of things that we cover here. Okay. And welcome everybody to Chestnut Checkers. This podcast is the Chestnut Checkers Grandmaster Investment Group. And if you guys looking to reach out to us, you want to get whooped on the chessboard, you let me know. We're gonna put this up everywhere. That way you can just always link us, hit us in the DM, send us messages, and we'll give you addresses and we can set everything up the way you need it. So first and foremost, how you been?
Doing all right, man.
Okay.
Blessed, bro.
Okay, good.
Yes, yes.
I
Right.
see you got a new venture.
Yeah, man.
What you
About
got?
6 months now, running with the smoke shop. About 6 months. So it is going along. We're starting to be able to see an increase every month. So I can't complain, man. Just fighting for it every day.
Okay. And what's the name of your smoke shop? Where you located?
All
Let
right.
the people know, just in case they in the area, they want to see you.
Of course, so we wanted to really be catchy with the name of the business. Actually, the name of the business is Smoke Groove. That's the official LLC. But we're doing business as Trap House Smoke Shop. So we're located up on the Goldsboro District or historic Goldsboro District. So the official address is 1219 Historic Goldsboro Boulevard. Yep.
Okay. And what all do you like offer in your smoke shop? Is it like strictly vapes? Is it like just everything under the umbrella?
Well, with the smoke shop, being that it is a smaller space, we're only sitting on maybe about a good 700 square foot. So with that being said, we're limited to everything that we could be able to stock. So I'm really pushing towards a bar field with this one. I'm really playing with the concept of a bar field. But we are going to be able to stock the essentials when it comes down to smoke shops. A lot of people come looking for the vapes. A lot of people come looking for the edibles. A lot of people come looking for, of course, the nicotine. Um, we're getting real popular. We're gaining a lot of popularity for our drinks as well. So we cater to a lot of the different drinks. The kava, the kratom, the THC drinks, the THCA drinks, the Delta 9 drinks. We have a variety of some of everything, so we want to make sure that we wrap it around the way we could really give people a good experience with coming to the trap house.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. Um, so what would separate your smoke shop from your competitors? What do you think? What do you bring to the table as a unique smoke shop?
Well, definitely, I would say the creativity.
All right, go ahead. You move first.
Yeah,
Let's get this started
yeah.
while we answer
Well,
these questions.
I would definitely say um, thinking outside the box when it came down to smoke shops. It's a lot of smoke shops that's out there, so we definitely knew we had to be creative.
Okay.
I love the fact that we decided to be able to put up the mural. The mural is a definite, jumping out there the way people know that it's this location and it's our location. Um, Definitely the collaboration with content creators has been a really good look for us. I would definitely say that one. We're using Instagram and other platforms to be able to collab with content creators, and it's content creators of all such. Right now, we've been having a videographer come in, and that's been shooting a lot of rap video content.
Right.
And
I saw
just that itself is doing over 500,000 views on our Instagram page.
Okay, so let me elaborate on that. So everybody, if you are an entertainer, you got music, you want to showcase your music, look up Trap House Smoke Shop. It's traphousesmokeshop.com. You can link, come here, I think it's like every Thursday night or something like that. You guys do like an open mic. They shoot the videos, they upload the content, and like you say, they get like over 500,000 views.
Yeah.
So if you're in the general area, even if you're not, you want to come here. We're in Florida. You can come down here, and we will welcome you guys. So like I was saying about for anyone that who does entertainment, even if you're a comedian, come up.
Oh yeah.
It's a way to get exposure. You'll get you an interview in. We want to know about you. We want to present you to the world. So, you know,
Yeah, I'm
that's
definitely.
what separates this smoke shop from all the smoke shops that I know. They don't mix the business world with entertainment and things like that, and that's where we're different because
Yeah.
we back entertainers. We love our culture, so we do support our culture here.
Facts. Yeah, just
Anything you
to
want to?
elaborate with
Yeah.
that, when we first started this situation, I definitely wanted to be a situation where we can collab with the community. So, with that being said, we're not just inviting just the rappers, but we're inviting content creators of all such. Like, I have a few podcasters that's going to start coming up to do things. We have singers, we have a couple of poets that's going to be coming through here as well. We also have people that's willing to do skits. I have a guy right now, bro, that's he put a movie on Tubi, and he's actually in the middle of being able to finish up with writing another script for a movie. So he wants to come up here and start doing content creation as well. So, I tell any and everyone, there's no idea that's too taboo. The best thing you can do is just come up here, sit down with us, and we see if it's going to be a good fit with the store. And, we go from there.
Okay. So I want to kind of take it back a little bit. Like what events occurred in your life that made you feel like being your own boss was the route for you? Like, where did you really get the idea that, hey, maybe I don't really want to work for anybody? Because ever since I've known you, you've had your own. You had a cell phone store. You had a few things that you were always doing on your own, and it wasn't a matter of other people, over you, cutting you a check and stuff like that. And that takes a special type of person to be able to know how to conduct business to make it successful as well. Not just have a business because they got one, but an actual successful business. What started that path for you?
I would definitely say, bro, I always looked up to specific men in my life.
Okay.
The first one that really jumped out there to me was my great uncle. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to come up here on 13th Street in the first place. My great uncle was Tip Top Charlie Jackson, and he was known because he had the first grocery store. It was like a bodega uh, up here on 13th Street.
Okay.
And just watching the way how he interacted with the community, how people, really gravitated towards him in that grocery store, it really did. It really sparked something in me in my life. And also I always gravitated towards entrepreneurship. I had a good mentor when I was growing up. My stepfather, I seen him, the struggles in which what he had to go through with working and stuff like that and everything. I remember he had a bad accident, the way he couldn't work anymore, and the way the job just did him, the way how they discarded him. That really did, open up my eyes when it came down to the work world. But having good entrepreneurs in my life growing up, and being able to rub shoulders with good entrepreneurs. I had a mentor, Charlie B. Jones. A lot of people know him in Sanford. He flipped houses and built houses over the course of years. And as a young man, he took me up under his wing and showed me that, you don't have to go out here and be able to work for someone. You can work for yourself.
Right.
So, you know, that's something that I fell in love with, at an early age of being able to know that you can be able to have your own business and be able to make your own money. But I won't say that I never worked or anything like that because I've held jobs over the years. So I always tell people, with being an entrepreneur, you have to understand you're just that. You're an entrepreneur. So you have to really be able to grind for it. So it's not like it's something that's easy. I've been through some ups and downs in my life. Lord knows I've been through some ups and downs in my life, but
Right.
choosing to be able to further that entrepreneurship, it's something that you got to get up and put that 10 toes down each and every morning to be able to make sure that you're striving for it.
Right.
Oh
Right.
yeah.
Right. Right.
Let me go ahead
And
and move.
and I want to also add y'all that anybody that has a goal and perseverance in mind can be an entrepreneur. Don't matter where you come from.
Yes, sir.
Um, you know, because I'll tell you, this dude was in the streets. So I know plenty of guys that, and I'm saying this because the people that I'm trying to reach, I want everybody to take from this, but there is a certain demographic, especially for the younger guys, the YNs that feel like all I can do is get out here and move this work and do this and do that. And like we started in our 20s, when and I was in the streets. I had a lot of cases, I had a lot of things, and I was very successful at pharmaceuticals in the streets. Yeah, I was very successful, but it took a major turn in my life for me to lose some people, for me to go through some things, for me to say, hey, let me try something else. And I was surprised of how good I was at, owning my own business. So for you, did that ever happen? Like, because I know you from the streets too. I know that, you didn't start out, doing the right thing. I know that,
Yeah, you're right
you
about
know,
that.
like
Yeah.
what was that turning point like that got you out of the streets to where you said, hey, let me try something new?
Mm. I think honestly it was a series of events. It's crazy because being pushed into entrepreneurship, I feel like I was not forced into it, but I tell you, this is the way how I feel like God works.
There you go.
I ended up getting into some trouble when I was younger, and was facing charges and everything like that and everything. And I never forget it, boy. When that judge looked at me and he told me, he said, Mr. Jackson, if you come before me again, he said, you doing 88 months. And you adding up to 88 months, boy, that's some
That's
years.
some,
That's some years.
that's some time.
And I made the decision right then and there that I had my son Malik. Of course, he was 2 years old. I had custody of him, and I knew I had to be able to be there for him. So I think that was my ultimate turning point. The way I decided, okay, then let's go into entrepreneurship. I got to come from out of the streets, because if I don't come from out of the streets, then I'm not going to be here to raise this boy.
Right.
And that was my main thing.
Okay.
Yeah, come on, IJ.
All right. So what would you what would you tell somebody that is trying to like own their own business, or they got an idea and they want to try to bring it to fruition? Like, what would be some of the key points to a successful business? Not just having it, but like, getting their LLC, um, doing their taxes. Like, what type of information would you want to give to someone, the younger you, that was like the mistakes that you've already made, that you're not gonna make those mistakes again? What would you say to someone so they don't have to make the same mistake? What information would you give them?
That's a good question. That's a good question. To anyone that's inspiring to be an entrepreneur, the first thing is just LLC in it. Just simply just making sure you file your paperwork. Go ahead and do it. I see a lot of people that will procrastinate, they'll wait, they'll stall, and just starting the LLC is half the battle. Just being honest with you, and it's a good thing that you go ahead and start the LLC and start it as soon as possible, because Just because you have the LLC don't necessarily mean that you have to start working the business right away. You can start your LLC and you can still be prepping to figure out how you're going to be able to do your business.
Right.
And it's a good thing that you start the LLC right away, because the faster you start the LLC, you finish getting it structured. A lot of people don't understand that that time that you have up under your belt with that LLC can be able to be rewarding. Being so is, if you would know that you had an LLC structured for a year or two, it may be 6 months, 8 months, a year before you even really start a business.
Right.
Well, that LLC is already aged for a year. So you do tax returns on it, even if your tax returns are zero. Still, you know that you're showing the bank that you've been established for 2 years now. You only been working this business for only 6 months,
Right.
but in the bank eyes, you being established for 2 years, that makes you more credible to them. A lot of people don't understand that.
Right.
If you make it more credible to them, the more likely they're going to help you out. That's one thing that I learned over the years. Like when it comes down to this establishment, I started the LLC a year before I even moved into this establishment. I thank the Lord that I got a chance to get up here on 13th Street, but I already knew that I wanted to open up a smoke shop. It was just a matter of when and where I opened it up. So I went to pushing forward with establishing the LLC first before I even got inside the building.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, y'all hear that? If you're gonna do it, you just gotta do it the right way, do your paperwork. There's things that you can do to where as long as you stay afloat for the first couple of years, the government will assist you. That way you can stimulate the economy. You got to look at it that way. It's about economy stimulation, providing jobs for others. So it don't matter who you are. Like I said, no matter if you got degrees, it doesn't matter what you got going on. If you got an idea and you want to bring it to fruition, you should try to do so, but make sure you legalize it first. Get your paperwork done. All right. And this is Chess Not Checkers. I wanted to leave with my final thought. So we're in a masterclass investing group, the Grand Masters of Chess. This is what we do. I'm about to finish him up here in a second. But I want you guys to keep tuning in because we're gonna have great information for those that are really trying to not only change their lives but maybe change an avenue, or maybe we'll have a piece of information that could open the door that could be a great possibility for you in a positive light, especially if you're going through things, because we're just regular Joes. We're nobody special, but one thing that we do, we try to move the piece forward in life. That's why it's chess, not checkers. This is based on real moves to get you where you need to be, especially if you got goals in life. And a lot of times, a lot of people aren't going to support your goals or your visions or your dreams, but we are here to help you. So if you got a goal, a dream, a vision, you want to put something together, you don't know how to start it, reach out to us. We probably got some information that'll assist you. And once again, keep tuning in. This is Chess Not Checkers, the Grandmaster Investment Group. We call it CNC GIG. Look us up. We're going to be on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all major platforms. Also, podcasts, Apple Podcasts. We're going to run it through all major platforms, but just look out for us. We'll send you notifications. And if you see us on our YouTube channel, I want you to like and subscribe. We out. Peace.